de hoje eu quero começar a falar e falando sobre virgindade no YouTube. Como tirá-la, como removê-la, como crescer nesse mar que já está lotado de peixes grandes, de pessoas, de personalidades e celebridades, artistas e robôs também. Inteligências artificiais também, verdade. Hoje em dia os conteúdos, a maioria estão vindo através de inteligência artificial. Como superar conteúdos criados já por a inteligência artificial, por grandes peixes e grandes robôs? Essa é uma pergunta que eu te faço. Mim.
And this is a whole new way of compute. Task rabbiting for you, whether it's in finance, law, legal, gov, health, protein folding, gene sequencing, song making, flight navigation, simulations on buildings. Like this is the new.
What does it need, actually? I never expected it to happen to me. I never did expect. But well, the sun is burning like a huge, enormous frying pan. And I am here, drinking my ass off. Drinking sugarless Coca-Cola in order.
So, there are a couple different ways to answer that question. One is, how do you actually distribute the resources that are needed for the whole world to move up with this AI revolution, right? And that's an important conversation. It's a conversation that's been happening this week about representation, about how global majority, not just the United States and Western Europe, can help lead in this conversation. And I think there's still an awfully long way to go in that, right? Just when you look at the distribution of where the technology is being developed, the powers that are helping turbocharge this revolution, there's a lot of work to be done in distributing those resources. And that's not just the know-how, but it is even the fundamentals, right? So it is the access to computing power, it's the data sets, et cetera. So there's a big story to be told there, and it's something that the UN has been talking about. There's a recent report out from an AI advisory council to the UN that puts this as one of the major ways in which global cooperation really can be useful, is in unlocking opportunities and thinking about more equal distribution and even distribution. But the second piece of it is the governance framework, which is my area where I spend the most time, which is, as this technology develops, how do we make sure that there are guardrails in place to make sure that it's responsibly developed in a way that still respects individual people and their rights and our ability to access information in a truly democratic way. And that's an interesting question, because a lot of that is going to have to be resolved at the national level, because that's where laws reside. That's where you're able to have the most control over the corporate actors in a particular region. And so right now, around the world, we're seeing different countries quickly ramp up, think through what is the right legislative and policy framework for this. In the European Union, they've adopted the first kind of big piece of comprehensive legislation, the EU AI Act, which just got passed in its kind of initial draft a couple weeks ago. And in the US and other regions, they're really kind of starting through the drafting process as well. So that big global conversation around guardrails is happening in all of these different places right now, while also trying to talk about it at the multinational level. So the answer is an awful lot of work, but we need people to pay attention to this debate and to feel entitled to participate in the debate. So one of the key areas that I advocate for is that I am not a technologist. I lead an organization that has technology in its name, but I am there because of the human rights and the democracy piece of it, and I have put myself at the table, and many others in this space have done the same, to say, I might not be an expert in technology, but I know how public benefit systems should be run, and I'm going to pay attention when AI is coming into my sector. So we need people to feel they can participate in these conversations and look at how AI is going to impact the sectors or the values they care about, and then get up and get a seat at the table helping shape those norms as well.
Talking about
if you're unhappy that your country is saying goodbye to a feudalistic system, if you're unhappy that half of the population of your country, the women, are emancipated, well, this I cannot help.
E hoje, né, aquele lema das punk, que é sabote o Estado, hoje eu falo assim, a gente não pode mais dizer isso.
Everything was done with the most exquisite taste. And it was not at all nouveau riche, not at all gold everywhere on Mars. It was good taste.
E aí eu falei, bom, se eu me lançar a discutir o que é o ser diante da abertura, nesse contexto da abertura, nesse contexto da arte e tecnologia, eu vou para o lugar da filosofia pura, né? Eu vou para o lugar da metafísica, eu vou para esse lugar que não é minha praia, não é meu objetivo. Eu, sim, quero aprender, eu gosto desse assunto, mas eu sinto que, com a minha trajetória, eu preciso ainda me aprofundar muito nesse conhecimento para poder vislumbrar uma contribuição nesse sentido.